Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. If you've got gold, then you've got money to contribute to the United States government. Man, have we got a good video for you guys today. Yes, some of y'all already know what I am getting at. Some crazy stuff has recently happened. Tariffs on gold coming out of Switzerland. 39% is what the reports are saying. Kind of crazy. I really didn't see that coming. However, there's a few things we're going to talk about how this could play out, what that could lead to, and really just we're going to be talking probably a lot more about gold today with a little bit of silver talk in there. Because it's kind of crazy. It kind of blindsided a lot of people. It was definitely a surprise. U.S. adds surprise gold bar tariff in blow to Switzerland, FT says. So, yeah, for those of you guys that haven't heard about this, this was kind of mind-blowing. There's a few things I think is going on here, and we're going to talk about that today. I kind of think one of the reasons is as soon as people announce tariffs on one country, well, you know what? Are tariffs going to come on all these other gold from other countries? And if so, maybe they better get their gold to the United States now, so that way when they do put the profits on, the gold will already be here, and then they can kind of dodge the tariffs. I would not be surprised to see a lot of countries start sending gold into the United States. I wouldn't even be surprised to see bars from Switzerland go to another country and then come to the United States. But we'll see how a lot of this plays out. But we're going to be talking about that today. If you guys enjoy today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I think it's going to be a great topic. Now, before I get started, too, I have got to say I apologize yesterday. I went into the video yesterday talking with plans to talk about the gold-silver ratio and how I really thought I had some great charts, and I still have the chart, so I'll probably come back to it. But as I got talking, I got ramped up on some other stuff and then totally got away from the topic at hand. And I was kind of like, and I realized it as I was putting together the thumbnail and re-watching it, and I was like, man, what did I do? So I apologize for that, for those of you guys that really wanted to hear about the gold-silver ratio. But it was a great video, and so, you know, hey, it is what it is. With that being said, today's video is going to be even better because I think there's a lot of, I'm going to say, chess moves at play here with this announcement. Now, right off the bat, for those of you that don't know, Switzerland doesn't even mine much gold. They're not one of the leading gold mining countries. However, they are one of the leading refinery countries. They are one of the top dogs in refining. A lot of you guys may even have some gold Swiss bars, pimp Swiss bars from Switzerland. And, you know, who knows? I don't think many of us have kilo bars of gold, which is one of the big tariffs that they put on. But, I mean, who knows if it will trickle down to smaller stuff, too. Obviously, if people are buying, I'll say, huge amounts of gold bars, then they probably got a little extra money to pay. And I think that might be where the government's thinking, where their head is at. Well, let's target the people that have the money. And if they're buying gold, they have money, so we can get it from them there. However, I'm not convinced that this is going to have a huge impact on necessarily the gold price per se, but we're going to know today, literally, how gold does today. If gold skyrockets today, it's going to be interesting. I've always said, since these tariffs have been getting called, canceled, put on hold, canceled, and so on and so on, I wouldn't even be surprised to see these tariffs get put on hold. The huge market volatility right now with tariffs that's essentially causing the tariffs is causing the market volatility. A lot of people are profiting. I've heard some people even say that the whole thing is just hoaxes to drive prices up so people can sell, make a profit, and then let it come down. I don't think that is necessarily the actual play at hand here. I do think that there is going to be a drive to get more gold into the United States before everything happens. I do think that is one of the big factors. You know, there's an old saying, he who has the gold makes the rules. And right now, I'm not convinced the United States has as much gold in its borders as some people might think. And I think this is a play to push more gold into the United States, whether it's in bar form, jewelry form, whatever the case may be. More and more people are flocking to gold right now. And we've seen an amazing price climb in gold. We're sitting at basically right now $3,400 gold. It's $3,390, a huge jump. We continue to climb. We're only $110 off of the all-time high right now on gold, and I really think it's going to continue to go higher, and I think it's going to bring silver with it. Now, here's the funny thing. Silver is extremely manipulated. We all know that. There's huge short positions in silver. Silver price should be a lot higher than it is, but part of me thinks that this is a distraction to convince people to push a little bit more money into gold instead of silver. I was actually talking to someone yesterday, and he buys silver, he buys a little bit of gold here and there, but now he wants to switch and mostly buy as much gold as he can. He thinks that with everything going on in the economy, with everything going on with central banks buying up gold, with everything going on now with these tariffs, he actually thinks that he wants to buy more gold, because he believes that the price is going to have a huge climb of maybe even 39% fairly quick. Now, here's the thing. If you charge a tariff to one country, 39% on gold, people are probably just going to buy it from another country. And I don't think it's necessarily going to drive the price of all gold up. Do I think Swiss bars, if you like pimp Swiss bars, will there be a little bit more of a premium on them? Absolutely. But I think you'll still be able to pick up gold. Gold is going to keep going up anyway. I'm sure somebody out there is going to say the reason gold is going up is because of the Trump tariffs, because they need someone to blame. The reason gold is going up is easy. It's because the dollar is going down. It's because people are wanting to invest more in precious metals, sound money, because they recognize what's happening. And once you recognize that, you start positioning yourself to be in a better spot when stuff really starts breaking down. And it is breaking down. It's just not breaking down overnight like some people want to make it sound like. Oh, nothing is ever going to happen. You people have been talking about this for years. They've been saying silver and gold was going to go to the moon. Nothing's happening. Here's the truth of the matter. It is going up. It's going up slow and steady because you're getting desensitized to the prices, and people are just not paying really close attention to what's actually going on. But the truth of the matter is $38 silver is a lot higher than it was last year at this time. It's even higher than it was 6 months ago at this time. And I'm convinced it's going to be even higher in 3 months from now and in 6 months from now and so on. Personally, I still think silver is the better play. And the reason I think that kind of comes into what I wanted to talk about with the gold-silver ratio. Take a look at this chart real quick, because like I said, I didn't get into it yesterday. I wished I had, but I didn't. And so I kind of want to show it real quick. We are right now at approximately 89 to 1. That means the price of gold divided by the price of silver would get you an 89 to 1 ratio. That puts you essentially, we're going to pretend this 90 line up here, that puts you up here. The majority of history, it has been under that line. Now, I won't pull out numbers like 10 to 1, 15 to 1, 12 to 1, because that would really put us way down at the bottom. And I'll be honest, these are outliers as well. And an outlier means it's too far down versus right now it's too far up. I like to look at what the average is. You got your lows in the 20s, you've got your highs in the 90s, even 100. Someone might say we were at 125 at one point. Yeah, that was an extreme outlier. But let's just say 90 and 20 for a quick minute, and then kind of go somewhere in the middle. And, where does that put us? Let's say around 50. Let's see, we go up 30, about 55-ish. I could picture 55 being a pretty fair ratio, an easy call. an easy call. And by saying 55 or 50, that means that if I'm buying silver right now, we go to a 50 or 55 to 1 ratio, that means I'm essentially can trade that silver for more gold later. And there will be people, despite what some people think, that will be extremely eager to trade their gold for silver later. Why? Because when the excitement happens, everybody wants to be with the big winner. When gold was taking off and silver wasn't, I actually know people that watch the channel that said that they were trading 100 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold. And I kind of thought that was a mistake based on the outliers and the gold-silver ratio. Now we're looking at 89 to 1. So they could literally trade right now ounce of gold and possibly get right around 89 ounces of silver. Or they could trade 89 ounces of silver today and get 1 ounce of gold. Whereas maybe they traded the 100 to 1 ounce of gold. That essentially means that extra 10 means they could easily have picked up an extra on a 5 ounce or a monster box deal. They could easily today pick up possibly a half ounce of gold extra if they had made their trade today versus, a year ago or whatever. Back when that person was talking about it. Personally, I think silver has more room to run. The tech behind silver, the demand behind silver, I understand. Maybe some will argue it's not an industrial metal like gold. It's not favored by the central banks. It's definitely favored by someone for them to manipulate it. Maybe it's the military complex that needs that silver to make better and better technology. Maybe it's everyday people that need it, the big companies, to make better and better technology items like phones, laptops, computers, whatever the case may be. It doesn't really matter why it's needed. It only matters that what is happening. And for me, it only matters the price. I like to look at the price, not because I'm planning on running out and selling tomorrow, but it feels good to know that I bought something at $15 and now each one of them ounces are easily worth $40 a piece. Can you get $40 a piece? Absolutely. There are people out there that are buying it left and right at $40 an ounce. The idea that you can't, you might have to work at it a little bit, might have to drive to the city to get a little bit more, might have to meet up with individuals, might have to ship it. You might have to do a little bit of hoop jumping, but it doesn't change the fact that people want it. I actually ended up talking with a buddy today. He ran into some emergency, had to let go of some silver. Asked me if I could help him out. I helped him out. I said, I know someone right now that will take it. He'll take it at spot price, $38 spot. And he said he'll take all of it across the board. The guy didn't want to part with a ton of silver. He parted with probably 25 ounces, needed about $1,000. And I said, I know someone right now. He said he'd take it off your hands. And for me, I'll get like a free lunch out of the deal. I'm actually going to meet with someone later in the week to take a look at some old coins that's been passed down in the family. She said her dad had lots and lots of coins, asked me if there was possible that she could treat me to lunch. And if I take a look at some of her coins and in an environment she feels comfortable in, I said, absolutely, we can meet anywhere you want at a public place and just sit down and talk. She said she tried taking pictures to send them to me. I said, she said she couldn't, was having a hard time. Older people tend to have a harder time with texting and pictures and all that, just being able to send them out. I said, it's fine, we can meet up. I said, are they older coins? She said, yes. Because I've met with people before, and they're like, I got a bunch of coins from my grandfather that he had given them to me. And I look at them, and I'm like, that's a 2015 quarter. You didn't get these from your grandfather. And if you did, it wasn't that long ago. 2015. The coins, 64 and earlier easily have value, especially when you're dealing in silver, quarters, dimes, half dollars, even Morgan dollars. You have a lot of value with that stuff. People like it, Condition obviously matters, but for a lot of us, we're stacking the bullion. We're stacking, just face value silver beat up coins. We don't care. Now, there are some people in the community that are both precious metal stackers and coin collectors. If you are both, leave a comment. Let me know. Say, hey, I like silver, but I also really like collectible coins. I think at the end of the day, if you can buy a kind of a collectible coin for a bullion price, you can't go wrong. Definitely collectibles have more people interested in them. However, if stuff really started breaking down, would it be easier for you to get what you want for a beat up Morgan dollar or a collectible Carson City Morgan dollar? If you are in real need to get rid of something, someone might try to bully you. And be like, hey, I'll take them, but I'm not going to pay you a whole lot over spot. Oh, well, this is a Carson City limited run, on and on. Hey, take it or leave it. Do you know anybody else? I've seen people play that game, and it drives me nuts when I see people get taken advantage of, especially, with silver bullion. I had someone up in Maine, I'm not going to say, I probably shouldn't say where, although the person did write in the comments. He's in Skowhegan, Maine, or the person is in Skowhegan, Maine, and said, where can I get rid of a 10th ounce of gold and, someone you trust? There's a lot of places I trust. However, the question is, you never really know what someone will try to get your coins from you for. I have a rule. I would never, ever, 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 under no circumstances, sell a gold coin or a silver coin for under melt value. Melt value is spot price. No premium, no nothing. That is a coin that is beat up, and you should never let it go for less than that. Even a fancy coin that's in nice shape, I wouldn't let it go under melt value. Melt value is the guaranteed around the world price. Now, I'll be honest. I probably shouldn't say never, because if all of a sudden you were getting rid of $500 in silver quarters and someone's like, I'll give you a little bit under spot, then maybe I could see it because it's such a large amount. You may have to take a hit a little bit. However, there are people out there that will give it to you. You just might have to work at it a little bit more if you've got a ton. Not everybody is sitting on, $10,000 to buy silver quarters off you. So, but back to the gold. It's interesting that this has got called, and I have to wonder if this is going to push a lot more gold into the United States. The last time when we were heavily talking about tariffs, what happened? We had record amounts of gold flooding into New York. Huge amounts. I can't help to wonder, that was just tariffs in general. Now we've got tariffs specifically on Switzerland gold. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's possible that people will try to get their gold into the United States before their country or wherever their gold comes from is affected. They don't want to end up having to pay these higher prices, because here's the thing. Let's hypothetically say for a minute I have a 10-ounce bar of gold. Hypothetically. I don't have no 10-ounce bars. I barely have 1-ounce coins. But with that being said, let's just say for a minute you've got a 10-ounce bar. If all of a sudden they put tariffs on it and you're bringing it into the United States and reselling it, now you've got to pay the tariffs, although you're going to pass that on to the consumer. But what happens if you get it in before the tariffs kick in? Now, that's not going to work with Switzerland, because I heard that went into effect yesterday, instantly. However, other countries may not have them yet. So now those countries might try to flood gold in real quick. But if I can get it into the United States before, here's the thing. Technically, I could still charge that amount, because if I try to get more, it's going to cost me more. And so the ones that I already have here, I'll pass that on to the customers today, and then I'll keep that difference in profit. A lot of people think tariffs don't actually start getting billed to the customer or to the companies until new stuff comes in. And that is true to a certain point, but a lot of companies are going to start charging as soon as they hear it. You go out and try to buy a gold Swiss bar tomorrow, and you might see that there are bigger tariffs on them. They may kick in the tariffs or the increased premium even quicker. But I think there's still going to be gold coming in from other countries that aren't going to have those huge premiums. And ultimately, gold is gold. I don't care what you stamp on it. I remember when I picked up some silver coins. They were in beautiful cherry wood boxes, nice glass tops. And they were Joe Biden, or no, I'm sorry, they weren't Joe Biden. They were Barack Obama 1 ounce silver coins. And I am not a big Barack Obama fan. I mean, was he a president? Yes. But he wasn't like someone, I got to have this coin and save it and hold it. Wasn't that big of a deal to me. But needless to say, I bought those coins. And someone's like, what? I didn't think you were an Obama fan. I said, I'm not. Are you secretly a fan? I said, no. Then why are you buying the coins? I said, because I like the price and I like the box. I really like the box. And I still got some of them boxes, but I ended up taking the coins, and I was just trying to get my money back out of them. I didn't even, no interest in the coins whatsoever. But the price was good. It was silver, and I kept the boxes on them. So it was kind of nice. They didn't have any writing on it or nothing. They were just little cherry wood boxes. So the same thing applies to gold. I don't care what's written on the gold. If it says Swiss, China, Krugerrand, Eagle, Maple, Philharmonic, anything. As long as it's gold, that's what matters. And at the end of the day, gold prices probably are going to continue to go up. With that being said, let's jump over and take a look at what is going on in the prices. And if you made it this far and you haven't hit that subscribe or that thumbs up button, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. I can't thank you guys enough for doing that. We're trying to grow the channel as fast as we can. We're at 14,900 subscribers right now and continuing to grow. So hit that subscribe button. Help me out if you're not already subscribed. And if you are subscribed, just hit that thumbs up button anyway. So we got silver right now trading at $38.24 as it's continued to climb. How many of y'all remember a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks at most, when we were down to $36.50? How many people caught that dip now? I mean, now that price down here looking pretty good, but that day's gone now because now we're, $2 higher? If you bought during that recent dip, you basically just covered your premium. Now you're by the time you get it in the mail, it's pretty well washed away. I actually have some ounces coming that I'm waiting on right now. Taking a quick look at gold, we got gold trading at $3,390.40. Once again, gold back up there again. Not as high as it was. We're still $110 off from the high, but that's okay. It's still working its way up. Bitcoin trading right now at $116,689. I spent a lot of time talking about Bitcoin the last couple of days, so I'm probably not going to get into it tonight. I know some people don't like hearing about it, but it is a hot topic. The DXY obviously is up right now, which is a little bit of a shocker because I would have expected to see the DXY continuing to come down and fizzle out. I can't imagine the tariffs on gold had a big impact on essentially driving the dollar higher. So something else could be going on that's making it kind of stay a little higher right now and not fall like it should be. We've got the dollar traded, the DXY trading at 98.24. I'm curious to see if we're going to be back over 100 in no time. But the higher the DXY goes, the cheaper gold and silver gets. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out. Taking a quick look, we already talked about the gold-silver ratio and how we are extremely high. When you're all the way up here on the charts, you are out of the average, the mean of gold-silver ratio, which means there's a lot of room for it to come down. And when it comes down, I think it's going to be interesting because you'll have good opportunities to trade that silver in for even more gold. So taking a quick look, we actually talked about the Swiss tariffs on their gold. Some of the headlines that you can look up. Did Swiss gold refineries fuel this crisis? I think there's something bigger going on. They're trying to lure in the gold into the United States. U.S. hits 1 kilo gold bars with tariffs in a blow to the refining industry in Switzerland. And yes, it will be a hit, obviously. They're being essentially picked on, targeted. I mean, why not hit it on every country? But then again, I don't want to see that, because then gold would really get expensive quick. And I don't think they want to see that, because they don't want to see the gold price go up yet if they're still acquiring. However, we don't know where all those gold bars that were coming into New York a couple months ago went. A lot of people had speculation on what they thought. There was all this talk about a gold Fort Knox inventory check audit, and all of a sudden we don't hear nothing about that now. So gold futures hit record high after reports on U.S. tariffs on gold bars. Real quick, we looked at the gold price trading at $33.91, but I did not look at the futures price. Let's take a quick look. Gold futures price. Let's take a look at what the futures price is. Oh, shoot. I haven't looked at the futures price yet. Darn. That's a huge split. Wow. Now that I didn't see. How did I not see that? Look at the futures price. Futures price, $3,490. That is huge. And still climbing. Take a look. Wow. We could see some excitement in the market tomorrow. And this is going to be very interesting. I may even put a order in, literally a small order, because I don't have a ton of money right now, because I put in those 2 big silver orders. I did put 1 gold order in that's already in the mail. But this is insane. Look at that. Darn. 5% in the past month. But here's the thing. 2.3% in just the last 5 days. 1% in just the yesterday. So, wow, that is exciting. Because this is the thing. Once that breaks, the actual future price jumps. Tomorrow when the markets, I'm going to say the U.S. markets open, I'm curious if we are going to see the spot price really swing a whole lot higher. Let me look at the charts. Man, look at the trading volume. I didn't even realize when I was looking down here. I didn't look down here. Look at the trading volume more recently. A lot more trading volume putting out. That's what these bottom green and red and green lines. It's not because it's Christmas. It's all your volume, your trading volume. Man, that is a huge jump. Look at it. Look at it in the 1 month. Look, you can even see if you look at this chart in the last, we'll say 2 days, what's going on. And I can't help to wonder if they didn't know it was coming before it got announced. Wow. That is just insane. I'm kind of speechless on that, actually. That huge spread. I've always said that if you see the spread, it's easy to get in just before something happens. I think, you know what? It's 12:30 at night. It's 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I might look online right now and actually pick up a couple of small gold coins because this could have a huge impact. I actually had seen another video where they said they thought it would have a huge impact tomorrow when the markets open. So I'm curious if they won't be right. I didn't actually look at the futures price yet, but that is a big spread right now. Take a quick look, because now you got me wondering on what is the silver futures price? Yeah, see how there's not a big spread between the silver futures price. Move that over here. So the futures price on silver is $38.54. The actual spot price is $38.25. But when you look at the other two, that's a huge difference. So we're going to see what's going to happen. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I know some people didn't make it to the end of the video, so I wish if I had known that, I would have started out showing that. That is insane. But I think this will be a good video. If you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button, leave me a comment, And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe. We're going to wrap the video up here. I can't wait to see what tomorrow does. I may put up a couple shorts during the day and kind of see what happens. I thank everybody for watching. Please be sure and check out some of these other great videos. I will show some on the screen, and you can always go to my channel and just check out what videos and find a video that looks interesting to you and check it out. And definitely check out our short videos, because we do post short videos every day, not always about gold and silver, but always good short videos. Just fun to watch. Someone asked me, why am I getting into other types of shorts? When I see other short videos, sometimes people will click on them because they like it, and then they'll check out your channel, or they'll just hit the subscribe button because they like that short video. And then they might see another one of my videos somewhere pop up, and all of a sudden they're kind of interested in what's going on with gold and silver, and then they get into it and they learn more about it, and we help more people by bringing more people into the fold. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. We're definitely going to have an exciting week, so we'll see what happens. Thank you for watching and commenting. I hope you have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.